Absolutely.
All right, that engine that you're standing behind, how many cylinders are those engines? Like 16?
I know, right? I just know it's a giant V8. Rob wants to know how many cylinders this thing has.
It actually has 8 cylinders. Really? That's what term V8 means. Okay. They're just, everything is just oversized.
Everything's just absolutely huge. Just blown up.
Everything's on steroids.
Got it. That's what I figured. Okay. Guys, it's crazy. So James is telling me off camera, he's friends with, other racers in different circuits like Tony Stewart and the Sprint Cup Series. He won't even get anything like this. It's very extreme to say the least, which means you have to be safe. Show us what kind of safety measures you take to ensure that you come out of this alive.
The safety has come a long way in these cars from when this vintage class had been started. If you look in the cockpit here, we have a 7-point seat belt harness here, so I'm strapped in the car well with a seat pad, all sorts of helmet padding. This car actually has fresh air pumped into the car.
Now, why is that?
In case of fire, I breathe fresh oxygen. It also keeps the fire out of the helmet, so it pressurizes the helmet. Wow. All the controls in the car, brake handle, car has carbon fiber brakes, 2 parachutes, all sorts of ballistic blankets on the car in case of explosions or fires.
Towards the front of the car, you actually have two fire extinguishers.
2 fire bottles, 1 on each side, and then they're plumbed throughout the car. You can see here, and here is 2 fire bottle lines. So they're pointed right back at the engine in case of fire. So when I set the bottles off, I've got 1 pointed at me, a bunch pointed at the car to knock the fire down quickly so I can get the car stopped, get out, and then the Famoso safety crew is right on top of me, cooling me off and getting the fire put out in the car.
You've been doing this 14 years, right?
Yep.
How many times have you been in a fire? How many times has this happened?
We've had some pretty good fires over the years. We're pushing the limit constantly, and I've seen, well over 2,000 degrees being on fire, and it's just that fight or flight moment. The car blows up, it's a big explosion, you're disoriented, you got to get the thing stopped, get the fire put out and get out. It's a fight or flight moment, and you got to deal with that situation.
But this is your passion, it's worth it?
I grew up in this sport. My dad, Richard Day, grew up driving funny cars from 1968 to 1986, and then when I grew up, started working on these cars and then started driving. This sport means everything to me. It's everything I've ever known, and it's everything I've ever wanted to do.
Guys, we're learning so much from Mr. James Day here. Don't go anywhere. James Day will be racing, time trials, right? Qualifying?
Our time trials will be at noon and 3, so yeah, man, it's go time.
James Day racing later today. Go to FamosoRaceway.com if you're interested in getting tickets. 8 a.m. the gates open. Guys, Rob, Linda, to put things into perspective just a little bit for you, these cars go so fast, it covers the distance of a football field in 1 second.
In 1 second? Wow.
A football field length in 1 second.
Very, very fast. And we're giving away tickets,
Insane.
so keep watching this morning.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Now, gearing up, Josh, and he's behind the wheel.
Yes.
Finally.
Oh, you caught me. You caught me. Yeah.
We were hoping.
It's tight quarters, guys. And I don't even have my helmet on. When you have your helmet on, James, I'm sure you can't even turn your head.
Exactly. I mean, you're strapped into this thing with all this extra safety gear on. There's not a lot of room to move. As you can see, there's no cup holders or stereo or anything like that.
Yeah, there's no sound system in this baby. There's no touch screen. LJ, we're getting some booze. LJ, if you come over here, can you take a look at the steering wheel? This isn't your run-of-the-mill steering wheel either. And describe what's going on in this little cockpit of this rocket machine you have right here.
So we have there's not a room for a foot brake, so we actually have a handbrake in the car, fire bottle lever, steering wheel. We actually shift this car once, so we actually have an air-operated shifter. Wow. A mechanical fuel pump, so I have a fuel pump lever, and then just like a stick shift car, we have a clutch pedal and a throttle pedal, and then after the burnout, we actually have a reverser lever I can back up with.
Now, describe again what this does, because this is something that you've had to use, a lot of people have to use if need be.
If you're going to drive a funny car, you're going to catch fire. It's just one of those things. So the thing blows up, it's on fire, you throw the fire bottle lever, you just pull it back to the brake handle. It's all one motion. It's the quickest way we can get it done. You pull back on it, get the parachutes put out. Once you open this fire bottle lever, It sprays detergent all over the car to suppress the fire and to keep me cool, which gives me enough time to get the thing stopped, get out, and let the safety safari take over and put the rest of the fire out.
I want you to tell people, if they come out here to Famoso Raceway this weekend, especially if they're first-time spectators, what can they expect?
Expect the unexpected. I mean, that's it. You know, these cars are so unpredictable, and they're such animals. You never know what it's going to do. It's going to go left, it's going to go right, it's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to blow up. You don't know, and that's what makes it fun.
I'm glad you think it's fun, and you drive a funny car, but it's only fun because there's a tremendous amount of safety involved in these things.
Oh, these cars are so safe anymore, and it's you know, which makes my job easier. It takes the pressure off me, and I can go out there and concentrate on winning.
0 to what? 230 miles per hour in how many seconds?
You know, these cars will run well over 260 miles an hour in 5.5 seconds at a quarter mile.
Only 5.5 seconds. And Rob, Linda, as we close this segment, if LJ can look down at this gas pedal, this, I'm barely pushing down on it. Is it ready for the burnout? Is
ready for
okay.
the burnout.
That's all it'll go down for a burnout. It goes down maybe like 2 millimeters.
Yeah.
That's all it takes, guys.
Wow.
It's insane.
So Josh, this is
I'm blown
obviously
away.
not a great family car then.
No, this is definitely not something
Okay.
you want to take the family in for a sedan ride or anything like that.
No
yeah.
airbags.
You don't want to take the kids to the beach in this.
Yeah. I like those shoes, Josh, by the way. Those are
Do you know?
Stylish.
You know?
They're
Well,
sassy on a
you know
Friday.
why I'm wearing these shoes.
LA
You know why I'm
marathon.
wearing these shoes.
Marathon.
Yeah, my marathon's this Sunday, and I want to make sure I don't want to take any chances on getting my plantar fascia all worked up early.
Are those your
Yeah.
lucky shoes for Sunday?
They are. These are
All
my
right.
Mizunos I've been training in.
All right.
Ready
well,
to
Good
go.
luck with that.
We're
Hurt
both a
yourself
little
out
cuckoo,
there.
just in different ways. Yeah.
All right, Josh. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
the wheel of one of man's fastest moving machines, Josh. What's going on?
Yep, exactly. So we have the body now put on. It's pretty much a modified body of the 79 Challenger. James A with me himself. James, we went to black last time as we put the body on, but we have it on. And I wanted to also mention that this is something, one of your crew members actually pointed this out. You're sitting down here, you really can't even see what you're doing. You're so low, your engine's up over your face. Like, kind of give us a glimpse into what it's like.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of vision in this thing. Thank God we've tried to go straight most of the time. You know, you really just got to focus on your surroundings, look around the injector and supercharger. It's just a whole nother level of focus when you start this car and you become driving it.
And I noticed you have this hatch up here. I thought it might be like some kind of fancy moonroof or a sunroof or something. There's actually a purpose to it.
It's a safety hatch. In case this thing's on fire and I got to get out of this thing in a hurry, I've got another way out. We also open it up in case it gets smoky in there after the burnout, let some more air out. It's just another piece of the puzzle.
Now, and yeah, I see two helmets. You have gloves. You have boots, shoes, type thing. What do you? Probably, I'm sure a fire retardant suit. What do you have here that keeps you safe?
One of my big sponsors, Bell Helmets, supplies me with helmets here. It has fresh air into the system, so in case of fire. It also has a chin strap, which keeps my helmet in place when we take off for the launch. And it has a built-in neck sock for fire. I wear a head sock underneath the helmet. Impact driving gloves. You also wear underwear and socks that are fire retardant. This is a head and neck restraint system in case of a crash.
And you say whenever you're going from you're going from 0 to over 200 miles an hour in less than 5 seconds, your body, your head even is just shaking around like it's a ping pong ball.
It's the ultimate in chaos when you stand on the gas. It's vibrating, shaking, and moving around. So everything has got to fit right. You got to be safe and comfortable.
What is the thrill in doing this? Because this is extremely dangerous. What keeps you motivated to do this? It's your pure passion?
You know, it really is. You know, it's everything I've ever wanted growing up. It's the sport I grew up in thanks to my father. You know, it's just it's been a lifelong dream, and to be a part of this sport has been everything I've ever worked for.
And I'm not sure if we were able to show the picture, but you gave me a picture earlier of when your car actually caught fire recently. Yeah. But you've made it out okay. Does that ever, after a fire happens, are you ever, I don't know, do you ever have any inhibitions on getting back into a car again? Do you get nervous or?
you know, it's kind of like falling off a horse. You got to jump right back on it and get back in it. You know, it's just you can't let your mental psyche get beat up. So you got to jump right back in it and not dwell on it, and just deal with it.
But even in the past 10 years, safety's come a long way.
Oh, you know, thank God for my sponsors, Osiris Shoes and Bell Helmets, and Impact Racing and Simpson Racing. They build the best safety products on the market, and without them, man, we'd be crispy, that's for sure.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, James. Guys, don't go anywhere. I'll be with James. We'll be heading out to the track because the racing, I'm sure you hear the engine starting up right now. In about 10 minutes, the first races get started. You can go to FamosoRaceway.com if you're interested in trying to purchase some tickets. You can get a 3-day pass. Guys, it's incredible being around this. And I love the nostalgia part of it. I'm a retro wannabe. Lots of really early models being showcased already this morning.
Yeah,
let's get back to you.
Car, Josh. You're standing next to you right there. All right, we'll check back in with Josh Helmuth in a little bit.
Burnout gets the rear tires good and sticky for more traction.
Yeah, we'll just let them go for a second. Wow! If that doesn't get your heart pumping, you're not living.
This is exciting, man. This is so much fun. But they're rolling into the pre-stage beams now, and this is lining up the guys for the race. We've got one guy in. Okay, here we go.
Now, I'm rooting for the Chevelle because my dad has one. Here we go. That's a turtle speed compared to what you do.
A little bit later, we'll run over 260.
Linda, I can't describe to you how mind-blowing that was. I'm just having a blast. All right. I don't even know where to go. My heart's racing right now. This is too much fun to watch. I cannot believe it took me nearly 30 years of my life to see something like this. This is unbelievable. I think my reaction speaks for itself, but real quick, James, why should people come out here this weekend?
This is the ultimate excitement, something you really got to experience with your family. You know, drag racing is Americana.
That's awesome. All right, James, he races at noon. Come out here. You go to FamosoRaceway.com. And these are, I love the nostalgia, the retro models here. It's awesome. You can go to FamosoRaceway.com to get tickets. They're already starting out here today, guys. This is a blast. Don't go anywhere. We have one more segment here live from Famoso. Guys, Linda, back to you.
All right, thanks so much.
Good morning, Rob. It is incredibly loud out here, but we're having a ton of fun. I have never been so close to something so exhilarating and powerful in my life. You can see behind me, the stands are just now starting to fill up. Everything got started off about 8 o'clock this morning. James Day went from teaching me, a teacher, instructor on NHRA racing to now my tour guide, if you will. So we've gone over some modified racers, which is basically some people souping up their cars out of the garage, coming out here racing them, to the A-gas, you call it, right? Just describe what's going on here this morning. This is the time trials.
Yeah, this is all the sportsman cars getting ready for their running for the Sunday. Qualifying starts right now, and everyone's just trying to get their cars tuned in and ready to go fast. And you know what? This is the ultimate right here, man. It's you're feet away from the drag strip. That's about as exciting as it can get.
I said off camera, I'm already hooked. My heart's been pumping for the past 20 minutes, just having a ball out here. Now they're doing their burnout right now. They do this to create heat on their tires, so the tires melt a little bit. It gives them more traction on the track, so that nothing really bad happens. We don't want to see bad anything. It's all about safety here. But let's not kid ourselves. This is really dangerous.
It can be, you know, and it's performance based, but safety does come first out here. That's why we don't race on the street.
This started back in the 50s. I cannot imagine them doing this 50 years ago before the safety measures that were invented that we have today.
Oh yeah, when we started, there was no helmets, seat belts, nothing like that. Now the safety requirements that we have now is just tremendous, and it's for the betterment of the sport. And
not to downplay this at all, because this is phenomenal. This is awesome. I'm just speechless right now. But these are toys compared to what you deal with your funny cars. Just really quickly, kind of plug that.
This is truly a stepping stone into what I drive now. You know, the Nitro Funny Car, like I said, it makes 3,500 horsepower, and it covers a football field a second and runs 260 miles an hour. They're just animals.
Guys, James' race car goes from 0 to 100 in less than a second. They cover this, from the start line to the finish line. James' car will cross that finish line in a little more than 5 seconds. These, and they're not slow pokes. As you see right there, what's that, 13 seconds, 12 seconds? Oh, that's 9 seconds, 133 miles an hour. I need glasses. They go really fast. You can go to FamosoRaceway.com for tickets. You can get a 3-day pass. Guys, I highly recommend coming out here. I'm having a blast. I'm so glad I did. James, thank you for being my teacher, my tour guide. Thank you for answering my questions and not making me feel like a moron. And also, before we leave, you have one little message, don't you? You got to give a shout out to somebody special.
It's a woman that gave birth to me, my mother. It's her birthday today. She is a diehard drag racer, builds engines with my father. We're a drag racing family, and Mom, I love you. Happy birthday. Please go to jamesleemotorsports.com. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and keep up to date with what's going on out here.
If you have any questions about motorsports in general, NHRA included, James is your guy. He's a great teacher. I've learned about cylinders. I've learned about what it takes to go 100 miles an hour in less than a second. Just listen to it roar! I am so pumped. All right, testosterone's brewing. I got to get off camera here. Rob, I'm sending it back to you.
All right, Josh. Good stuff out there. We'll see you back at the studio.